Hey, I'm Tom.
And I'm Tanner.
Welcome to episode 136 of Bird Squawk.
Welcome back from the bye. We'll get into all that happened during this bye week and what we saw from the division, from the league. But before we get into it, I know we're a Birds page, but we're all Philly sports here. The Phils, man, in the World Series. Has to be exciting. I know a lot of you probably are Phils fans, but there's probably some of you guys out there that are just Birds fans. But had to give them a shout out here. Exciting times in Philly with the Phils back in the World Series, and the Birds still 6-0, baby, as we continue this ride. But just wanted to give them a little shout out as we start this video. But it's interesting, man. The frauds of this division continue to win, and it gets with no track was lost. I mean, no ground was gained during our bye, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, what a great way to spend the bye week watching the Phillies, kind of advance to the World Series. So that was just amazing. And now moving forward to the World Series, I mean, the only time off is when the Eagles are playing.
Yeah, it's really crazy. I mean, we start Friday, Saturday, Phils, Birds on Sunday, Union, Eastern Conference on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Phils, Thursday in Houston against the Texans for the Birds, and then Friday, Saturday, if need be, for the Phillies. So yeah, action-packed week for sure in Philly sports, and for the Birds, as they're going to have a short week after Pittsburgh. But the Cowboys, I don't know. They beat the Lions, is what it is. Dak's back. He looked fine. I still think they're going to be kind of a same team. He's going to obviously add a couple wrinkles that Cooper Rush couldn't, but I still think they're going to rely heavily on that defense. We knew they were good coming into the year, and they stayed afloat with Cooper Rush, and now they got Dak back, and it's kind of back to where I think a lot of us expected it to be at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on what you're saying, I mean, the frauds continue to be frauds, but they continue to win. The Giants, I mean, come on, man. They are not
I know, we talked
5-1 team.
We talked about
right?
this.
They're
not. Dable is gonna eventually make them into what they're acting like right now. I do think he's gonna get that organization back on track, but it's too early. Yeah, there are cracks that have not been exposed yet.
Yeah, he's getting way more out of this squad than what he should be getting, which is not a good sign for us in the future. But,
yes.
We did say that when they hired him, that was a good hire for them.
Yeah.
But, hopefully, we had this week off. We had Saucy and the coaches could kind of take their time and do their self-exam, and kind of see the places that, we need to improve. And now we got the Steelers coming up at the link, and Sunday should be another great day down there. And hopefully we keep this thing rolling. We come back healthy. Everybody's, had a week off, got to clear their minds, clear their heads, and now it's back to business.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it seems like the bye, it seems like everyone is going to be good when we get back into practice this week. And yeah, I mean, the Steelers, man, I mean, it's another team that they should be able to take care of business at home against a struggling team. Kenny Pickett is going to give us the ball a couple times, it seems, by the way he's been playing so far. I expect it to be a pretty, a stress-free game. I think there's obviously going to be a lot of Steelers fans down there. They always travel well.
Yeah.
Totally. Battle of PA, but I think they'll be quiet pretty soon on, I think. I think the Birds take care of business, and just to continue to keep this thing moving. And I know last week we talked about the schedule, but I guess a couple of those games kind of switched a little bit. I mean, Matt Ryan now benched for Sam Ehlinger. That game got 10 times easier. But a switch now, though. Tyler Heinicke, not that I'm scared of the guy, not that I'm scared of the Commanders, but it adds a wrinkle to that game that I think honestly gives them a better chance than if it was Wentz. But
but another big Monday night game under the lights.
Exactly. I'm not concerned, but I think it adds a little to it.
Show out, and Heinicke is a little more scarier than Wentz. He can get outside the pocket. He can scramble. He can improvise a little better. But I don't.
No, I'm not
him beating us, but we have a clunker in there. We talked about it.
I know, we talked about it last week.
But I don't see it.
Exactly. We talked about this last week. We ran through the rest of the schedule. But if you truly look at it, and yeah, I do want them to lose. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't want them to lose anytime soon, but they need one before the postseason. I don't think I can mentally do that if they're undefeated going into the playoffs. And
hey, man, if we can keep this going, let's just go.
It's early. It
go.
still is early, but yeah, I mean, really, throughout from now on, I mean, even the whole year, there is not a game on this schedule that you can at least look and say they got a dang good chance to win this game. I mean, there are teams on there. I mean, you didn't think the Packers were going to be as bad as they were. I mean, there's no way they're losing that Packers game. That's the black helmet debut game under the lights. They ain't losing that one.
And I mean, Rodgers is trying to channel back to his relaxed days, but there's nothing left in that tank, I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong, but
I just think
come on.
They're trying to do a little too much for what they don't have. It's kind of what we were dealing with for so long in the wide receiver room, and I don't think they know how to handle that.
Yeah, when you don't have weapons, you look pretty ordinary,
yeah.
right? When you don't have the weapons that you need, you look a little ordinary.
And it is crazy. I mean, the NFC, we came into it the NFC East, we came into it as we've been the last couple of years thinking, it's kind of going to be weak. You got a couple teams. They played well, and the rest of the conference, man, has looked weak. The Rams are not themselves.
No.
The Packers have shown that they're not themselves. Brady and the Bucks look like a disaster right now.
Man, Brady, you should have stayed retired, but you gave up your family for this? I mean, come on.
But, I mean, you look around the conference, and you really, this team is still where they are. Obviously, there's a lot of excitement this bye week. The Phillies kind of taking the stage for a little bit, but this team is still poised to take a run, poised to have. If I know they had the drive, the confidence, and the will with all to keep this thing going, but I know the Phillies doing what they're doing definitely adds a little bit to that rents due, wanting to feel the vibes that the people are getting from the Phils and carrying it over to the Birds.
Well, the one thing we talked about, a couple episodes ago is the mix of veterans and youth on this team. And I think there's something to be said for that. There are guys in that locker room that have been there and they know how to keep this thing going in the right direction. And they know the stuff that they can't tolerate, right? So it's all hands on deck. It's everybody do your job. It's everybody show up for work. But when we're not working, hey, let's have some fun. Let's build some. We talked about it in the summer when we went to that softball game, how these guys were gelling together.
And what I also, for the most part, obviously I don't know what all 53 guys were doing over the bye week, but it seemed for the most part the big guys stayed close. It didn't seem like anyone went on any major trips to get out of the way. Like, guys were at the Sixers, guys were at the Phils, guys were local, which is always great that the guys were probably in the building, even on a bye week, continuing to work. So that's obviously always positive too. The main thing is you see how some people take coming back from the bye week and they're slow and they don't prepare, and some guys come back and they're great out of the bye week. And I forget, I know they won out of the bye week last year, but I forget who they played out of the bye week.
I'm not sure, but I mean, this bye was a little early, but hey, it is what it is. Now we come back and we take care of business Sunday and just start this thing rolling up again, man.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, we'll look at the schedule again. I mean, it's great. It's Steelers. What is it? It's Steelers, Texans, obviously. Steelers, Texans. I forgot they have the short week. Steelers, Texans, and then Commanders are the next 3 games.
And how crazy is that? I mean, we're playing the Texans when the Phillies are down there.
Exactly. It's just.
I mean, there are people talking about doing the Texan 3, you can go down there for the football game, you can go down for 2 World Series games.
Yeah, it's kind of like the vibe.
Nuts.
It's not the same city, but it's kind of the vibe of that Cardinals weekend when the Phils were playing the St. Louis Cardinals and the Birds played the Arizona Cardinals. The Houston battle now. It's weird how sports work, but it's definitely going to be an exciting couple weeks. I mean, I expect the Birds to have 2 wins within this next 2 weeks, beating the Steelers and taking care of the Texans on a short week. And if the Phils can win a World Series, man, once again, I know we're not a baseball page here, but you got to be exciting in the city. People are obviously excited.
Oh man, I mean it's what you live for. I mean, come on, man. When's the last time? It's so many years ago that we were in this position where the Phillies are actually, red hot, and the friggin' Eagles are undefeated.
It's crazy.
I mean,
Once again, it's early, but it's crazy to think the Phils are in the World Series, and it's crazy to think that in February the Birds could be in the Super Bowl, all in the same year.
It's nuts.
It's crazy to think. Obviously, it's early. Lots of way to go as we get into the second half. Well, you can post bye for the Birds here, but yeah, I have nothing but faith that this thing's going to continue to roll. I don't have kind of that year, the bye. So I think it came early, but came at the right time.
Yeah, I think it's not the perfect time, but a good time to just regroup, and just look at what we're doing, and start up that engine again this week and keep it rolling.
Yeah.
And nothing better than coming a home game out of the bye, with a team that's kind of, in disarray a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a team you should be able to take care of business, without a doubt, at home.
But again, I mean, as we go, that target on your back is getting bigger.
Exactly.
Every week we win, that target's getting a little bigger. So, that attention to detail and doing your job and keeping the distractions outside is going to be key.
Yeah, without a doubt. So, I mean, like I said, I expect to be back here next Wednesday talking about another Birds win and being 7-0.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing better than 6-0 is 7-0.
Exactly. So that's where I expect to be next week. So thank you guys. That's about it. Off the bye, I talked about division continuing to stay hot, even though they're frauds, and the conference looking weak, even to those powerhouses looking weak.
Ooh.
Looks like an open table for the Birds. So thank you guys always for watching. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at birds_squawk. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Go Birds.